am, VTubers. I'm back in the broom cupboard. Yes, I am. I'm back in my domestic appliances cupboard. Yes, as I told you yesterday, it's the only space I can afford to heat over here in Britain at the moment. Yes, it is. And this chair, I don't know whether you noticed yesterday, it's been buried. Yes, I've been markled. Yeah, and they've got to me through the chair. It's not my fat arse. No, when you hear the chair creaking, it's the chair's fault. It's obviously not my fault. Because, I mean, look at me. I'm like a slip of a girl, aren't I, really? You know? It's a wonder I got the energy to stand up most days. I'm so thin. Isn't it, VTubers? So, to be fair, even my chair doesn't like me. No, Babbles over here's got a bone. So if you hear anything over there, because, to be honest, when VTubes, content creators, when they say that, usually, they say, oh, I've got a cold and the cat's doing something and this has happened. I really don't give a shit, so I don't know why I'm doing it. Usually I'll just power through. And, well, I'm growling like Marge Simpson at the moment because I've got laryngitis. Yes, I have. And I'll get tail end of the flu, you know. But in my day, we just used to call it winter. Nowadays, it's a catastrophe, isn't it? Yeah, everybody shits their pants, don't they? Oh, my days. So, we are where we are, it's winter. But I'm back here to point out that we're still in the middle of clown world, aren't we, VTubers? Yes, we are. We're still right in the middle of clown world. Yesterday I was on here, I don't know what I was banging on about, to be honest. I think I've been on the ginger wine. And I've been up Tesco's earlier today and I got myself some mushrooms. Because I thought what I'd do is I thought I'd join it with Barry. Because, well, why not? You might as well get on board. It's all the thing at the moment, you know. So anyway, I've had a mushroom omelette for lunch. And, well, I just thought I'd sit in the cupboard with you and just wait to go up, if you know what I mean. You know, I'll let you know if I'm getting high. But, well, or maybe you can tell me in the comments. It's hard to tell with me, isn't it? Probably there'll be no stopping me. Next thing you know, I'm going to be playing Meatloaf really loud all night at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yes, that's what I'll be doing, VTubers. And you all know, here we go, Gertie's been on the mushrooms. Yes, so there you go. But, I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? So anyway, we're back in Clown World. And yesterday I was halfway through telling you about Jeremy Clarkson. And then something reminded me that I needed therapy or I was in therapy. And once I thought of therapy, it reminded me of Tea and Therapy, which is a YouTube channel. And once I thought of tea, then I thought of kebabs. Completely forgot about Clarkson. So, where are we with the muchness and your Barry? Well, VTubers, like I said yesterday, he did allude to the fact that he's Jesus Christ in his opus. Yes, his, whatever it is, grandiloquent or something. I got that off the, and grandiloquent. Yes, it's a word. Because I'm a bit of a wordsmith, you know. Yes, I am. Oh, I am. I can speak words. Mainly rude ones, but I know their origins. So, with that in mind, I always watch Andrew Gold on the YouTube. Do you know him? Andrew Gold. He's the one what brought old Baldy Locks up. What's his name? Sean Atwood. I mean, he was going down the pan, wasn't he? You know, he was, wasn't he? Do you remember after Diamond Sal? Yeah. If you're here for Barry and Rachel, I'll put a timestamp on it. I say I will, because it sounds good in the video. But when you get to the end, I won't, because I don't know how you do it. But I'm going to have a VTube gossip. So anyway, where were we? Diamond Sal and Sean Atwood was going down the pan. Wasn't he? Yes, he was, VTuber. He was going down the pan. Because he has a lot of people on his channel, doesn't he? Like criminals and bank robbers and kingpins. Yeah, drug dealers, things like that. And I mean, you know, if I wanted to see my family, I'd go to the family reunions, wouldn't I? You know, when they have a wedding or a funeral, I'd turn up, wouldn't I? You know what I mean? So I don't want to watch Sean Atwood. So anyway, Andrew Gold came along. Now, he's got a podcast called On the Edge with Andrew Gold. And it's fabulous. It is. It really is. It's the best thing ever. It's fantastic. Well, it caught my eye to start with because it's called On the Edge, which was like that Theo Aronson or whatever his name was, who used to be on Sky News 200. Or Sky 200. Or was it 201? I don't know. He used to On the Edge, and I thought, well, there you go, because it's not there anymore. Andrew Gold's come along, and he's called his podcast On the Edge with Andrew Gold. So I've been watching it, and he's a wordsmith. And he said, or somebody said, that the muchness and the Barry, yes, they're grandiloquent. Yes. And he has been dissecting the opus, the spare hair with no bare care, hair bear bunch, whatever. He's been dissecting it, and apparently, now you're going to sit down. If you're watching this stood up, I need everybody to sit down, and if you can't sit down, hold on to something, because you're going to be shocked. I'm really going to impart something. You're going to be confounded. You're going to shoot right up to the moon, because you're going to be that shocked. Did you know, apparently, the muchness and Barry plagiarise other people's words? You wouldn't believe it, would you? I couldn't believe it when Andrew Gold said, no, not the muchness. I thought she always wrote her own words because she's very grand, you know. Yes, she's been to some university or something. She got some degree and worked at an embassy, which she didn't. It was day release or something from the institution, which is what it should be, but it wasn't. She wasn't employed, in other words. Yeah, she was doing it on the freebie, intern or whatever they're called. So, anyway, yes, we know it's got a filthy paw prints all over that book in it, eh? What do you reckon that spare? Of course it has. You can see it's like I said yesterday, it started off normal, because they had a ghostwriter. And then I think the ghost got fed up with being haunted by the muchness. So he went, and then we think, and I think as well, that the muchness took over, which is why the book is, there's a shower of shit in it. It's like Goldilocks, the Three Bears, or the Hair Bears, or whatever. And so I was watching that, Andrew Gold, on the edge. And he has that bird on there. Now, what's her name? That Tessa Dunlop. Dr. Tessa Dunlop. She's a royal historian, which I'll be honest, I don't want to overshare things with you. But I myself am a royal historian. Yes, I am. I'm a historian of the royal persuasions. Yes. In other words, I know all the gossip and all the ins and outs and innuendos and all the stuff that we're not supposed to know about the royal family. You see, I know. See, and so does she. In fact, I know more than her. But shh, don't tell her. Because she's a bit of a harridan. She's always on the Piers Morgan show on the talk radio, talk TV or whatever it is. And they slug it out and she's got toxic femininity. Yes, and she doesn't like, what is it? Miss, I don't know what it is. Miss Congeniality. I've got no idea what she doesn't like. Misandry, misogyny. She doesn't like misogyny, you see, but she is the very epitome of its opposite, misandry. Yes, she is, because she hates men. It's obvious as a big fat nose on a big fat face. Well, either she hates men, or she just hates Piers. Either. So, you know, she thinks men are toxic or something or other. And she feels sorry for Barry because obviously he's had a very hard life. And they've had what's his name? Jeremy Clarkson. He's been cancelled. I know. It's hard to believe, isn't it? What with her being so empathic, the muchness and everything, you think when he'd apologised, they'd have said, oh, go in peace to love and heal the world or something. That's what you'd have thought they'd have said, oh, Barry and the muchness, wouldn't you? But they didn't. No, you see, because Barry, he's got toxic masculinity or something, and he's one of them, misogyny. A misogynistic person, whatever that means. He don't like women. And she is a misandrist, you see. She's the other. She don't like men. So he don't like women, she don't like men. So they're perfect for one another, really, aren't they? If you think of it. They're like salt and pepper. Yes. You remember they should be passed together. Or some shit, I don't know. Anyway, he's been cancelled. Jeffrey Bezos has cancelled his contract. He's got to work his contract out and then darken Jeffrey Bezos' door no more. Viewers, because of your Barry and Rachel. Yes, because he did, before Christmas, he did a column. And in the column, in the, I don't know what it was it the Mail, Mirror? I don't know. I don't read the papers. No, because I can't read, you see. A, I've got a sleepy eye. And B, I'm illegitimate. So, obviously, I just look at the pictures. And from what I can make out, he did a column. And Jeremy Clarkson he's a beta, really. He just does it. Not a beta male, he's an alpha male. But he likes to race bait a bit. And, well, not race bait, he just likes to bait the public, really. And he's very funny in a sort of I don't know, 1970s, 1980s kind of way. Yes, I mean, take him or leave him, can't you, Jeremy Clarkson? I mean, he ripped me to pieces, wouldn't he, to be honest? I mean, look at me, I'm gorgeous, you know? He'd be all over me because he's an alpha male. So that's why I don't know him, thank God. I keep myself to myself, you know? And so he wrote a column and he drew the analogy, or he illustrated or wrote an analogy of why he thought the muchness of muchness should be like a scene, excusez-moi, c'est chien, it's très bien, over there doing something, I don't know what. So anyway, where was I? I don't know where I am anymore. I'm going up on the mushrooms food tube. I've just worked it out. I'm as high as a bleeding kite. It's happened, it's worked. I'm floating away food tube fooders. So, I mean, that would be an event, wouldn't it, eh? Me floating. So anyway, he wrote a column before Christmas, and in it he drew the analogy of a scene out of the Game of Thrones, which is something to do, which they show on telly, which I've never watched. I've got no intention of watching, because I don't watch telly. And basically, from what I can make out, Game of Thrones is set upon the War of the Roses Plantagenets, this, that and the other in the medieval times. And the scene involves the mistress of Henry II, well, being pelted with detritus as she's paraded through the streets. A bit like the opposite of Lady Godiva. Do you remember her? She rode a horse naked to piss the king off. Well, this one was pelted with stuff, which is very much like, well, I don't like to allude to it, but Barry, you see, it's kind of reminiscent of Barry. It made me think, oh, have a go there, Gert, because look up. Didn't Barry say that his oh-so-perfect wife, the muchness, is his Mary Magdalene? Yes, that's all I'm saying, Voodoo Foos. Yes, so, what happened to Mary Magdalene? You who are without sin may cast the first stone, is what Jesus Christ said. Didn't he? Do you remember? So, my point is basically, it's all right for the Barry. As usual, it's all right for Barry. But it's not all right for the little people, you see. It's not all right for anybody else. Excuse me. I'm full of it. You'll be reading my obituary this time next week, probably. It will say how marvellous I am. And probably, well, it will go on about how marvellous my figure is. And my hair is beautiful flaxen gold. Or whatever, some shit. So anyway, if I live that long, because I'm as high as a bleeding kite now. They've kicked in Voodoo Foos. So it's worked out, where am I? Just to wrap up, because I'm too marvellous. My time is, you know, time is money to me. And basically, it's all right for Barry to draw the analogy of the old muchness being like Mary Magdalene, what was pelted with stones. And Jesus Christ called them off, because obviously, like I said, he turned round and said to the crowd, now looky here, you crowd people. He said, you who are without sin may cast the first stone. You see? You see? And is it just the mushrooms working on me, or do we see a plan? Because they're not very, you know, magnanimous, are they? You know, he's apologised, they put the bleeding boot in. Really reminiscent of when Kate went round, took her flowers, she threw them in the bin, slammed the door. You know, one of them. She's a bit of a bitch, isn't she? So it's all right for Barry to say, oh, she reminds me of Mary Magdalene, who was pelted with stuff. But it's not okay for Jeremy Clarkson to make a joke. And it was a joke. And all those spineless newsreaders that say, actually, I thought the joke was really bad and they shouldn't have said it. It was a bloody joke. And when you're all sat indoors bored shitless because there's nothing worth watching on telly, and you all sit there thinking, oh, where's all the comedy gone? We used to have Friday night comedy, we used to have Saturday night comedy. There's your answer, because you're spineless. It was a joke. It was an analogy. He drew an analogy between a scene in a fictional programme. That's what he did, and it was just a joke. Not to be taken lightly at all. But it's okay for Barry to actually draw the conclusion all on his own. He probably had stick pictures. You know, little stick men. And out of that, he worked out that actually the muchness is his Mary Magdalene, Voodoo Foos. And the last thing I want to say is, I can't think who said it, but right here, right now, Gertie Rood's going to say it, but I didn't get it off famous quotes because I'm not as ill-educated as Barry. I mean, where do you think I went to school? Bloody Eton. Honest to God, I've known this saying for years. And it says, freedom dies. Something or other. That's what it says. Everything fails when freedom dies, and best men rot in filthy jails, and those who shouted, appease, appease, are hung by those they tried to please. So there you go, Jeremy Clarkson. That'll teach you to apologise. You can't argue with a sick mind. You can't look a sick dog or a mad dog in the eyes because they go for your throat. You see, the best thing you could have done is took a leaf out of our dear late great Queen Elizabeth II's book and just basically never explain, never complain, and never apologise. And with that, viewers, I'm going to say bye. Have a great day. Bye-bye.